Hello and welcome to FacChat, Faculty Chat with the faculty of Srishti Manipal Institute of Art, Design and Technology in Bangalore. Today we have with us Swati Dandekar. Swati, just share what you do at SMI.
What I do at SMI is I teach courses in film, I teach some courses in the humanities because I have a background in history. I try to run the film program and all that's associated with running the program. That's what I do.
In terms of, there are so many different courses, right? Film courses around the country. Shouldn't say it, but a lot of fly-by-night things also that you pay a lot of money and they say they've taught you film. What would you say is unique to how we teach and facilitate learning in the film program at SMI?
So if I'm to talk about the BFA in film, the 4-year BFA, I think it's one of the very few 4-year undergrad professional programs in film that offers you what I think is a very good mix of both technical and conceptual skills. And all this takes place within the sort of multi-disciplinary environment in Srishti, where students can negotiate and navigate the curriculum, they can learn other things. So I think that's one of the USPs of the program.
You mentioned the BFA and we also have the BVOC. So that's the Bachelor of Vocational Studies and then we have the Bachelor of Film Art.
Yes.
Now how would you compare and contrast these to a student who's looking to study film but is not sure which one to take?
So the BVOC program in film is a very specific and directed program for students who are very, very sure that film is what they want to do, and within film they would either like to do cinematography or direction and editing or sound or, we aren't offering sound yet, but we will. So it's very focused learning. The attempt is to quickly give them skills that they can go out and actually use when they should be able to go out and find work immediately. And that's the focus of that program, so that the teaching and also how we assess students is all geared like that. The BFA program is a little more open, and there the focus is more on encouraging students to develop their own voice. Sometimes students want to stay within film only, sometimes they want to combine other media, and all of that experimentation is possible in the BFA.
One of the nice things about SMI is that a lot of the people who are teaching and facilitating learning are practitioners themselves. You have kept in touch with your practice, I've seen some of your films. So just explain how it is possible to be in the practice and then bring the learnings from that to what you teach.
Well, firstly, it isn't easy, but I think it's very necessary and also very, very fruitful, I feel, to both. So, yes, I have tried to keep in touch with my practice and make films, and it's not just that I bring my experiences from filmmaking into teaching. I also take my experiences from teaching into my filmmaking, because students and the process of trying to understand how to answer student questions about something takes you back to questioning certain things for yourself, which is a very useful exercise to engage in, and that helps in my filmmaking too.
Srishti had a particular way of doing things. Now we have merged with this big education conglomerate, right? Mahe. How do you see this marriage sort of working for people who are coming here now to study film? What are the advantages of all that?
Well, we hope that the kind of spirit of experimentation and exploration that we so pride ourselves on in Srishti, we would like to keep that alive. At the same time, I think that this spirit of experimentation hopefully has found has found a stable home, and the advantages of being part of a big university are also obvious. That there are better resources, there is a system, there's a structure of which our students will now be a part of.
One of the things that parents tend to ask is, you don't have any kind of placement system, and these are high fees, and what happens at the end of this course of study? What would you say to parents who are asking these questions?
So, firstly, I would say is that in the creative industries, there are no jobs, but there is work. And I think it's important to understand that difference. There is work, and all our students find some work. It may not be exactly what they want, but it is work. And the world of work is such that you don't always find what you most want right away. Sometimes you have to negotiate your way through something until you find what you want. Sometimes you don't even know what kind of work you'd like. You think you might like something. I have students writing back to me after 2 or 3 years to say, I thought I'd like to do this, but now I'm a little tired and now I'm going to try something else. So I would say that our students find work. I would say that our students step out with some degree of confidence and a reasonable amount of ability to negotiate the world of work outside.
The last question that I ask everyone, story, anecdote, could be about a student, could be about alumni, that makes you feel it's all worth it.
Students who are very good and who give their all to their own learning, it's of course extremely gratifying to be able to interact with such students and to have them here, and I always feel very thankful that they and their parents chose Srishti to come to. But it's surprising that sometimes the students that stay with you are the ones who struggled a lot. And I recall one such student who struggled on many fronts. I think on the personal front, and he had adjustment issues in Srishti, and there's some weakness with language and so on. Very determined to make films, struggled with the script, and I had a very difficult time guiding his final project. And I would lose my cool every now and then, and I would feel frustrated, and I felt, oh my God, when is this ever? Why doesn't he understand? Eventually he did make a film, but more than that, he made a film that was reasonably accepted but more than that, about a year later he wrote to me to say that it was a kind of a thank you and an acknowledgement of the work that he and I had both put in. And I thought that it was not so much about being thanked, but about him realizing that, that all this was required in order to actually have a script. I was really gratified when I felt that everything that you do becomes worth it if that little shift happens in someone who's been struggling with so many things, and for him to arrive at that space where he now feels he can acknowledge who he is, what he wants to be, and the process that he went through.
Swati Dandekar, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.